Well, as expected, I shit and the flies did come. And thus, my experiment continues and I tested my method again. Not a single one of these people watched the video long enough or looked at the thumbnail to see the chart that I put in the video to demonstrate what makes a conspiracy true or not. And not a single one pinned down a single opinion. As soon as I ask what conspiracy they're exactly talking about and where they heard it, there's no answer. 11 comments and radio silence from all but the most delusional. Who, again, never gave a source. First things first, checkmate. So I'm going to explain some shit again, but this time it's not going to be the nice version. Not all conspiracies are created equal in any way, shape, or form. We're going to start here. Your maps are fake. Greenland is about 14 times smaller than Africa. My history teacher had this exact map on our wall to remind people of two things. Number one, humans are wrong some fucking times. Even more, they have biases to make certain countries look bigger. But the more important thing is that we hold distorted worldviews that don't hold up in the presence of actual fucking evidence. That is entirely the opposite of what Flat Earth is. One is science denial, and the other one is science. Also, the Earth isn't a sphere. It's an oblong spheroid, obviously, because it's a rock. So when I was streaming, I was watching the Tim Pool, Joe Rogan, Alex Jones podcast. And I'm shitting on it because that's what I do when someone comes into my chat and they go, Alex Jones has been right about pretty much everything. Then when I play the fucking video again, that's exactly, word for word, what came out of goddamn Joe Rogan's mouth. You all presuppose that you're unbiased and free thinkers, yet I demonstrated that you all are exactly the fucking same. I could goddamn make a video game dialogue tree out of this. You are a twitchy batch of reactionary nerves dealing with conscious and unconscious stimuli. You are not an unbiased observer. You cannot even fully identify your own bias because... Alright, you know what? Fine, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. This is Lacan. Y'all want to learn? Y'all want to fact check? Y'all want to get theoretical? Let's get theoretical. Lacan believed that the beginning of socialization starts with what he called symbolic castration. Conformity, rules, customs, standards, laws, beliefs, all of these things form subconsciously before you're even able to record memory. Now you need to learn a language, a custom, to interpret internal stimuli that is your subconscious to communicate then with the world around you. When a kid learns the word no, it is symbolic castration. Mommy, the maternal figure, the caregiver role. Mom is pre-symbolic, pre-linguistic enjoyment. We all sacrifice pure and immediate joy from the mother as soon as we say no. Long before humans ever have conscious thought, they reject the pure enjoyment of mother for social norms. That is because mom, the point of joy, is also the point of anxiety. The kernel of truth in every conspiracy theory is a point of anxiety. We use learned social conditions to express our desire to conform and obey learned social conditioning. Long before conscious thought, you are a slave to learned behavior. And you will castrate yourself to get that order. I should talk about Lacan and Squid Games. Now, are babies always happy? Fuck no, because mom is a point of anxiety. That is why Lacanians believe that the only true emotion is anxiety, and then temporary reliefs from said anxiety. Children are traumatized by their caregivers no matter what happens. Whether mom is there or whether mom is far away, the trauma will occur. This anxiety imposes the need to symbolically express subconscious thought as language, a learned social condition. By the time you're ready to break free and realize that mom was never truly any enjoyment because you don't even know what enjoyment is and there might not be any because it's just lesser anxiety, you're already subject to both subconscious and conscious social codes that existed before you were ever even cognitive. Do you know why therapists don't confirm or deny delusions? Because as soon as you confirm or deny them, you're enabling or you're a part of it. It threatens pre-held social cues that they hold subconsciously. It triggers angry, traumatic responses of the mother. Trauma mama responses. That conspiracy theory is a pacifier. It is a tit that you suck on for milk because you have anxiety. That conspiracy theory you hold on to is something you project anxiety onto the way a baby does their mother. Fuck it, I guess. Let's kill mom and impose our own caregiver. Let's see what happens. This is How to Wash Brains, a theoretical psychological essay written by Timothy Leary in 1975 in federal prison. He was in there for some bullshit, don't worry about it. In this essay, he compares military, Stockholm Syndrome, Charles Manson, and cults. These kinds of conspiracy theories are cults, but if you tell them that, then you've got a trauma response on your hands, and no one's dealing with that. Also, Leary considers himself a Jungian, not a Lacanian, but they're all Freudian symbolists, so it doesn't matter. At least for what I'm talking about right now. The way we're told to think about this is like a baby giraffe whose mother was just executed in front of it by hunters. The baby giraffe immediately imprints on the closest, largest object. That object is the jeep. It then tries to suckle on the jeep. In the military, for example, you take a disenfranchised, broken, failing child, you beat down all of the social conditioning that you could possibly have, putting them back to pre-symbolic castration. Once you do that, you impose a new maternal figure to impose new social conditioning that puts you at the top. Those who make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. That's why Manson happened, that's why militaries happen, that's why gangs work. They are both mommy, a source of both pleasure and anxiety. That is probably all just anxiety with varied amounts. I have PTSD. My body reverts to this state of trauma a lot. Conspiracy theories prey on people like me. Other disorders include schizophrenia or trauma stemming specifically from parents. That's why they groom children from broken homes. He says LSD does this. It renders people in a childlike state where they're only really capable of feelings of anxiety and happiness. Manson wanted that. Manson used that. Delusion is an untrue statement held in the presence of contrary evidence. Conspiracy theorists are delusional, from minor delusions to Manson. And you can kind of see it in Manson. He can't even interpret his own delusional thinking with language that he can express. That's why he trails off into infinity. Happens when you take a psychedelic too, doesn't it? It can lead to delusional thinking. Most people aren't Manson though. So why am I telling you this? To tell all the people I offended that this video has become your object of desire. Mommy. And mommy produced anxiety in you by threatening your goddamn fragile little worldview. This is why cults take a long time to deprogram, because they have to hold your hand through a long process. The only other option is to traumatize the subject and then just build them back up from scratch on some Clockwork Orange shit. And even with this, you may be able to reintroduce new traumatic stimuli. That's not reforming though. That's not deprogramming. That is programming. Through new learned conditioning, be them trauma responses or deprogramming, you associate with a new society. Your maternal figure of desire has moved. This is why therapists don't confirm or deny. Their interest is deprogramming, not torture. And all of that said, I am not your fucking therapist. My entire interpretation of this comes from the language of a filmmaker. And filmmaking, in particular Hitchcock's, will 110% traumatize you to change your fucking mind. Change your heart or die. I will break you down and build you back up with my fucking Lacanian view of the world like a goddamn conspiracy theorist would, but I'll back it up with theoretical psychological evidence. I'm not an educator, I'm not a journalist, neither are you. I am a clown and you are arguing with a clown. Why did I make this video? I have 2 dead parents, anxiety stemming from that, and I need approval from my new maternal figure, the internet. I goddamn know what I am and I've fucking fully accepted it. And I'm free to break free of any of these white maternal psychological figures at any fucking time I want. If I'm presented better evidence. Destroy the father figure. What about me? No, not you, Mari. You're an archetypal angel and I love you. You just did an Oedipus of psychological figures. Fuck you, Freud. That cigar was not just a cigar, it's repressed homosexuality, and Marie would agree with me.